Hello and welcome to the show. I am here today on Forza Horizon 3 building another hill climb monster. We have only had one American muscle car go up the course. Before that was the Dodge Charger. Today though we are going to change that with the Pontiac GTO. I quite like the GTO. I kind of prefer this version to the Judge version that tends to get in Forza more, so I'm glad to see this one back. I can't remember which DLC pack this came in, but either way, I like having this one around, and we are going to give it plenty of horsepower and massively wide tyres. That tends to be how the muscle cars are going to work. They're going to be heavier, but they are going to likely have a lot of power. Now, snow tyres are going to be needed along with the maximum... Oh, doesn't have as big a tyres on this as I thought. Only 295s. Okay. I was just kind of working on the assumption it was going to be 345s at the back. Oh, okay, that's bigger. Do they normally have... maybe they normally have 275s at the front. I was expecting 345s at the rear. That's normally what we get on the muscle cars. Not quite as big on the Pontiac. I think we can probably get away with it. Let's face it, the Land Rover got away with tiny tyres, but yeah, it'll have to do. We are also, of course, going to make the car all-wheel drive. Engine-wise, now I don't know whether the standard engine will get enough power. I mean, we have plenty of options. Hell, the V12 will fit within the PI. We'll have a go with building the standard engine. Don't actually, know how much it's going to get. Shall we go for some twin? We'll go for some twin turbos. Yeah, sure. Why not? And then we will build the rest of the bits and pieces onto the car. We're going to want, of course, Forza Aero. I want downforce. I want all of the grip that I can get. We could give it a fake blower on the top there, because it doesn't have a supercharger, so that is all completely and utterly fake. Also, my kitten is currently bumping into the microphone stand. Cass, it is the kitten's time of day where he distracts me while I'm trying to build a car. It seems to be a routine that we have gotten into. He knows when I am building a hill climb car, and he is determined to try and get in the way as much as possible. We're going to want all of these race parts. We're going to want the roll cage and anti-roll bars, and we are going to want weight reduction, really, because I mean £3,200 is still not exactly light, but it's as light as we're going to be getting it. We'll come back to... Ooh, actually, if we're not swapping... Oh no, we swapped drive lights, so gearbox and so on will have already automatically been changed, so that's okay. I think we're going to do it with the standard engine. I do think we will manage to do it with the standard engine. Yeah, which is nice. Nice to be able to use standard engines in some of these cars from time to time. It's going to have not quite as much power as I was expecting it to in many ways. It is, yeah, I mean, I think the Charger had about 800 horsepower, if I remember correctly. And I think that was also running with its standard engine. Can't remember that. It was a long time. The Charger was one of the very, very early cars that I sent up the course. We've kind of got to this awkward stage now where we're adding parts that are adding bugger all in the way of PI. Let's not do anything. We've done turbos. Intercooler is going to add another 38 horsepower. Are we going to be one of those really arsey ones that are just not quite bloody maxing it out, aren't we? I think, because we're going to do that, and then we're going to have... Damn it! Then we're going to have like 5 PI that I can't really make up anywhere in this build. Yeah, we are. Piss. Guess we're going to have to go for an alternative engine then. Okay. God damn it. I'm slightly annoyed by that, but there we go. Alright, our choices are... We can actually get the V12 still in S1 class. We can get the 8.4 litre V10 or the 6.2 V8. The V8 is the lightest engine of the lot. In fact, lighter than our engine to begin with, so we will go for that. Now, if I remember correctly, the turbos and supercharger for this give the same amount of power overall. The supercharger is slightly heavier, however, much better kind of power band, if you like, and I am going to go for the supercharger. Previously, superchargers have done fairly well up this course, so yeah, seeing as we're both going to get similar amounts of power. Now I think if we go for the highest one, oh, it's slightly heavier. I was hoping it's going to be slightly lighter, it isn't, but never mind. And then we will go for exhaust to try and get some of that weight back off again. We might just about get it under £3,000, possibly. Yeah, we can. Okay, we can get it back under 3,000, that'll do. Well, there is not quite as much power nor quite as bigger a tyres as I was expecting on my Pontiac. However, There is still plenty of power at 730 horsepower. And 730 torque as well, and that is a lot in a car going up this mountain. So I still think potential to be a really, really rather quick car. Fingers crossed we will have the control, and it's certainly not got as many obvious problems perhaps as some of the vehicles that have gone up here in the past. So we are here at the Devil's Corners hill climb with our Pontiac. We are going to get 3 runs up this course in an attempt to go as fast as possible. Now, our main target is of course going to be that Charger. It sits in 12th place with a 158.5. Might just about be beatable. The overall leader is the BMW 507 with a 155.9. I think we'd be hard pushed to go faster than that. It had the same, if not more, horsepower, I think, and was considerably lighter than the GTO, and was very, very good through the corners. So yeah, I'm not sure we're going to be quite getting into 55s with this one. However, I do think the Charger is an eminently beatable target. I would like to think this car can make the top 10, considering, well, the Land Rover did, the Series 3 Land Rover. Admittedly, that had many of the horsepowers. However, this should have a lot more in the way of control, and in fact, this is really bloody nice so far through these corners. We are carrying, I think, decent corner speed. We're always going to get understeer. There's just nothing, even the best of the rally cars just hasn't really turned in very well on the snow. There's just not a huge amount of grip out here. However, we are getting through these corners very, very nicely indeed in the Pontiac. Now, how fast is it going to go in a straight line? That is an important question, not the most important aspect of the car, although around here. It's only 120 miles an hour. That is good speed, though. Yeah, it's not up there with the very, very fastest of the cars, but if we can maintain a decent corner speed overall, this will probably be doing pretty damn well. In fact, I think regards to the ghost flags, I mean, we did run a little bit wide at the end of that speed straight. We're a little bit scrappy through here. This is perhaps the sector that the Pontiac might not be so good at. We might not quite have the speed through the turns of some of the much lighter, much more agile cars. Having said that, still pretty good. Yeah, we are not that far away from the ghost flags, and the ghost flags are about roughly the time set by the BMW. I think it's a tenth quicker, but not even that, I think it's half a tenth quicker. Yeah, it is the target time. So this is looking like a very, very promising vehicle if we don't have a really big wheelie on the way into the penultimate corner. That is not quite what you want to have happen. Pontiac not too bad across the bumps as we head towards the line. Oh, we're into the 57s already. We are 57.9. Well, we've beaten the Charger. We are well in the top 10. That's very quick. That is very quick indeed. So, we are on to our second run, and we are, well, if we want to go fastest, we need a couple of seconds, but almost like exactly 2 seconds. I don't know whether we can find 2 seconds through this course, but I'm going to give it a go, and we are a fair bit closer than perhaps I was expecting from this. This is proving to be a very, very good car indeed. It's one of those that perhaps doesn't feel like it's going massively, massively go. It feels a decent speed, but it doesn't feel like it is going quite as fast as it actually is. I think because it's kind of undramatic. It's just not it's not spectacular. We haven't got that stupid acceleration. We're not wildly out of control coming out of the corners. I'm not constantly having to fight the GTO, and that's nice. It's nice to have a car that's not trying to be a drama queen around this course, although I've balls that one up. Trying to get his kind of trying to cut to the inside a little bit too much, and we bounced it around and got it into a spot of bother. That's certainly all my fault, nothing to do with the car there. You're asking a lot of the car suspension to deal with running down that banking and up the other side. Not many can really get away with it comfortably. We're 105 miles an hour. Yeah, I mean, we haven't got the power-to-weight ratio of some of these crazy cars, and yet we're only sort of 5 miles an hour down there in that section, and we're carrying good corner speed. Although we're a little bit wonky coming into the hairpin. Come on, Pontiac, put that power down. on the way out of the corner. Thank you very much. We're going to run a smidge wide up here, trying to push my luck a little bit too much. Not sure this is going to be any quicker. In fact, it's not, because I'm out wide across that jump. The jump there is really nasty. If you get your car positioned just perfectly, it's fantastic. But if you do end up a little bit wonky, you're going to be in a world of trouble. We are nice and fast off of the icy straight there. We can get a lovely, lovely turn through there to get a huge wheelie from the GTO. We've not had that problem with anything. Nothing before in this series has done a wheelie off of that jump. It's not going to be quicker. Very, very similar stage time. Yeah, we were a little bit the first run we were a little bit scruffy in the latter stages. The second run we were quite scruffy at the start. Put it all together, and we can probably get a low 57. Right, it is our third and final run for the GTO. Can we find any more time? I mean, that first run was a pretty decent run. There were no major errors. There are a couple of places where I perhaps wasn't quite perfect around the course, but yeah, let's face it, getting into the 57s is a pretty damn decent time. If we can string everything together, though, I would like to think there is some time to be found with this car. Quite an impressive car, actually. I am, yeah, very much liking the GTO. I do expect, in general, the American muscle cars to go quite quickly on these courses. Their track record in pretty much every rally car build series that I've done is pretty impressive, because you simply get a lot of power out of them, and you can get some pretty big tyres on them. So put it all together, and they do tend to work very nicely for this, as we now head down our faster of the two straights. Not quite as quick in a straight line, but I'm braking earlier to try and get as nicer a line through here as we can. A little bit of wheel spin, a little bit of oversteer, not too terrible though, to get 106 miles an hour. And again, we're wanting to wheelie. That has put us a little bit out of position for the hairpin. Yeah, this mid-sector is where we fall back behind the target time. We are now better positioned though for the hairpin this time around. We can get a nicer line, hopefully get on that power a little bit sooner as we weave our way up this hill, taking out one of the poles on the way past. Now, get the car turned through here. That's more like it. From the Pontiac onto the icy straights we go. We're not going to be up with the BMW quite, however. Can we get into the 56s? No car has technically got a 56 yet around this course. Are we going to do a big wheelie? No, we are not this time around. Get it slowed for the penultimate corner. Yeah, we just don't quite get turned into these last corners as nice as you would ideally like. It's going to be a run towards the line. It's a low 57. Wasn't into the 56s, unfortunately. It is, though, going to be a 1:57.1, and that is a very, very good time up this course. It will put the GTO into third place. It goes faster than the Lamborghini Falcon. It beats the Lancia Stratos and the Lamborghini Countach, as well as the Donkavort. It is just a fraction down on that Volvo 242. Again, you've got to bear in mind the Volvo had 800 horsepower, was 2,600 pounds-ish, if I remember correctly. It had more power than this GTO, again, much like the BMW, more power than the GTO and far lighter. The Pontiac just has the composure through the corners. You can carry the speed, you can put the power. You can use all of the 700 horsepower in the Pontiac almost all the time because it has the grip to make it work. Yeah, 57.1, very, very good time. I would have liked to have got it into the 56s. That was a pretty damn good final run, though. I think in some of the tighter corners, perhaps, we are still a very big car, let's not forget. The GTO is a huge car. Certainly, I mean, the Volvo is not a small car, exactly, but compared to, like, say the Lancia Stratos, that is very quick through the corners, the GTO is massive, and we can't quite get change direction as well, while we can make up for some of it with power, with acceleration and so on. It's maybe not quite enough, and certainly not enough to get near to that BMW. I say to get near, it's ridiculously close here at the top of the table. We're kind of with a little bit of exception of the BMW, but still, for a very fast car in one of these build series, it's a close competition. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.